Hey, what's up you guys? Welcome back, or if you're new to my channel, welcome. Today, in this video, we will be talking about seemingly innocent pictures with horrifying backstories. But first, if you're new to my channel and you like the paranormal, anything creepy, creepypastas, horrifying lists, serial killers, then please hit that subscribe button and also hit that like button. It will really help me out. Stay tuned, because you won't believe what we have in store for you at number 1. Roll that intro. There is no need to adjust your TV set. What you are about to witness is the paranormal, the strange and the unusual. This is not for everyone. If you stay, viewer discretion is advised. You have been warned. Number 10. The Elephant's Foot. This picture looks like a typical photo from an abandoned building, but it's not. The person is photographing Chernobyl's monster. A monster was born during the Chernobyl disaster. Lurking in the depths of the reactor ruins, this monster was one of the most dangerous things in the world. In the immediate aftermath of the meltdown, spending 300 seconds in its presence would bring certain death. Even today, it radiates heat and death, though its power has weakened. After the nuclear fires were finally controlled that day, workers scrambled to contain the invisible dangers of the failed Chernobyl core. The concrete beneath the reactor was steaming hot, and was breached by solidified lava and spectacular unknown crystallines. With the help of a remote camera, an intensely radioactive mass was found in the basement of Unit 4. More than 2 meters wide and weighing hundreds of tons, which they called the Elephant's Foot for its wrinkled appearance. It was a solid mass made of melted nuclear fuel mixed with lots and lots of concrete, sand, and core sealing materials that the fuel had melted through. After just 30 seconds of exposure, dizziness and fatigue will find you a week later. 2 minutes of exposure and the body cells will soon begin to hemorrhage. 4 minutes, vomiting, diarrhea, and fever. At 300 seconds, you would have 2 days to live. Number 9. The class picture. Looks like a normal class picture, and yeah, it is a normal class picture. This is the class of 1989 from Columbine High School. If you look closely at the image at the far top left corner, some kids are pointing pretend guns at the camera. 2 of them are Eric and Dylan, who were the proprietors of the Columbine High School massacre in 1999. Shortly after this photo was taken, they murdered 12 students and 1 teacher, injured 21 additional people, and 3 more were injured while attempting to escape the school. The pair then subsequently committed suicide. In addition to the shooting, the complex and highly planned attack, unsolved, involved several improvised explosive devices, including tossing pipe bombs and carbon dioxide cartridges filled with gunpowder, Molotov cocktails, propane bombs placed in the cafeteria, car bombs, and bombs to divert firefighters. The pair hoped that after setting off the cafeteria bomb at its busiest time of the day, killing hundreds of students, they would shoot the fleeing survivors. Then, as police, media, and first responders came to the school, the car bombs would explode in the parking lot. This did not happen, since the first bombs in the cafeteria and cars failed to detonate. Their precise motives remain unclear, but the personal journals of the proprietors document that they wished their actions to rival the Oklahoma City bombing. Number 8. Footprints. This photo captured the final footprints of a 4-year-old girl that drowned in the pond pictured. According to the coroner's report, Naomi Grace Delgado fell into the pond in northern Colorado around 5 p.m. and was found sometime later. The pond is situated a couple of steps down a sloped hill from the playground. Parks and Recreation Director of the area said that most bodies of water near parks, playgrounds, and recreation areas are not fenced. He urges the public to not leave children unattended at parks or playgrounds, particularly those near water. Number 7. Happy Father. It looks like just an ordinary photo of a father happy to see his daughter graduate. However, the guy on the left is Dennis Ryder, aka the BTK killer, who killed 10 people over the span of about 25 years, all the while being a beloved member of his community. He was a security system technician, a Cub Scout leader, a church president, a co-worker, a city worker, a happy married father of 2, and a sadistic serial killer. His kills were spread out over 25 years because he took a break due to the person on his right. He stopped killing when he had kids to take care of and went back to killing as soon as they moved out. Being a security system technician, many of his clients booked him to install security systems in order to stop BTK from entering their homes, unaware that BTK himself was installing them. Once, while he was at the Wichita courthouse to get his city inspector badge, Dennis Ryder was given a tour of the war room for the BTK killer, who the police were investigating. Number 6. Omayra Sanchez Garzon. This photo is of Omayra Sanchez Garzon. She was a 13-year-old Colombian girl who was killed in Tolima, Colombia, by the 1985 eruption of Nevado del Ruiz volcano. Volcanic debris mixed with ice from the massive landslides that rushed into the river valleys below, nearly killing 23,000 people and destroying 14 villages. After a landslide demolished her home, Sanchez was pinned beneath the debris of her house, where she remained trapped in the water for 3 days. Her fight was documented as she descended from calmness into agony. Her courage and dignity touched journalists and relief workers who put great efforts into comforting her. After 60 hours of struggling, unfortunately, she passed away, likely a result of either gangrene or hypothermia. Number 5. The students. Chris Kramers and Lizanne Froon were Dutch students who disappeared shortly after April 1st, 2014, while hiking in Panama. A few weeks later, their remains were found, just bone fragments and some of their equipment. There was a camera along with their belongings. The camera contains photos from April 1st suggesting that the women had taken a trail and wandered into some wilderness hours before their first attempt to reach 911, but with no signs of anything unusual. On April 8th, 90 flash photos were taken between 1 in the morning and 4, apparently deep in the jungle and near complete darkness. A few photos show where they possibly were, near a river or a ravine. Some show twigs with plastic bags and candy wrappers on top of a rock. Another shows what looks like toilet paper and a mirror on another rock. And another shows the back of Kramer's head with what looks like blood on her temple. 2 months later, closer to where the backpack was discovered, a pelvis and a boot with a foot inside were found. Soon at least 33 widely scattered bones were discovered along the same riverbank. DNA testing confirmed that it belonged to Froon and Kramers. Froon's bones still had some skin attached to them, but Kramer's bones appeared to have been bleached. What really happened is still unclear. What's creepy is that when those last photos were taken, the girls, or girl, were cold, alone, and trapped in the forest at night. Number 4. Regina Walters. The girl in this photo seems to be giving a bizarre pose, but nothing else seems to be creepy. In reality, the story behind this photo is far more sinister. This is a picture of 14-year-old Regina K. Walters, who along with her boyfriend were taken by serial killer Robert Ben Rhodes. Both of them were runaway teenagers from a Houston suburb of Pasadena, Texas, who were picked up by Rhodes. Her boyfriend was killed and disposed of while Walters was kept. These photos were taken in an abandoned Illinois barn, where Rhodes killed Walters after cutting off her hair and making her wear a black dress and heels. Photos staged during the search of Rhodes' home confirmed that he held Walters for a long time, based on the degree of hair growth and bruising. Rhodes was eventually captured in 1994. He was convicted for the first-degree murder of Regina K. Walters and sentenced to life without parole. What's even creepier about this case is that father of the serial killer Robert Ben Rhodes had killed himself after he was charged with fondling a 14-year-old girl. Number 3. Tereska. This picture of a girl named Tereska who grew up in a Nazi concentration camp and lived in a home for disturbed children after the war, where this photo was taken. This is what she drew when she was asked to draw home. There's something about her facial expression as she draws this horrible endless tunnel of chaotic lines. You can see how deranged the expression is when two sides of her face is mirrored. Warning: this stuff always seems to freak people out. If you don't believe me, rewind back a little bit, pause the video, cover half of her face, and cover the other half. Number 2. Jolie Callahan. The story behind this photo is scary because of how normal it seems. This was the last picture taken of 18-year-old Jolie Callahan before her boyfriend shot her twice in the head and pushed her body off of the cliff in the same photo. Lauren Buhner had only recently been dumped by his 18-year-old girlfriend, Jolie Callahan, when he invited her to go hiking the Penote Trail in Alabama with him in August 2017. He shared several photos of Jolie riding in his car and looking out from the trail during the hike. It would be the last time anyone would see her alive. Hauntingly, she had texted her friend before the hike saying, "If something were to happen to me, you know who I was with." Jolie was shot twice, once in the back of the head and again between the eyes before being pushed, backpack and all, off of the cliff she is standing on in the photo. But before we get to number 1, I see that you've made it this far. Thank you for sticking around. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for anything paranormal, creepy, serial killer, anything dark. Hit that subscribe button, give me a like, and turn on that bell notification to let you know whenever I post another creepy video. And also, let me know which is your favorite down in the comments below. I will respond to every single comment that has been sent. Or if you have any other stories of your own, you can also follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Number 1. The Poor Cocase. These pictures look like a son escorting his mother, but there's something far sinister behind this image. The man in the photo is Christopher Porco, who was convicted in 2006 of second-degree murder in the death of his father, Peter Porco, and second-degree attempted murder in the severe wounding and disfigurement of his mother, Joanne Porco, in Bethlehem, New York. This is Mr. and Mrs. Porco during the early morning hours of November 15th, 2004. Their son Chris Porco brutally butchered them with an axe while they slept and were left for dead. Mr. Porco sustained 16 heavy blows to the head with an axe which penetrated his skull and took off his jaw. Despite his injuries, Peter Porco got up in the morning and began his day like nothing ever happened. He was completely unaware that he was suffering from profound shock or that his wife was bleeding to death in his bed. He used the bathroom and spent some time in the sink, spraying blood on the walls and handprints on the doorways as he made his way through the house. Eventually, he made his way downstairs to the kitchen. He loaded the dishwasher, packed his lunch, and even signed checks to pay for his son's parking tickets. There was evidence that Peter walked outside to get the newspaper and locked himself out of the house. He was cognitive enough to remember the hidden key under the potted plant and let himself back in. Finally, death took over and he fell face forward in the foyer, leaving a macabre scene for police. Joanne Porco, however, survived and still maintains that her son's innocent of all charges. Chris Porco lived with his mom during the trial and walked her to court every day until he was convicted of all accounts. Alright guys, that's all the time we have today. So, thank you for watching, thank you for sticking it out to the end. And remember to like, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram, follow me on Twitter. I'll leave links in the description down below. And do me a quick favor, also with your favorite story, and write it down in the comment below. But also, do me this big favor and say I subscribed so I can personally thank you for helping me grow my channel. Until next time guys, sweet dreams.